For all we know about ancient history, there's still a massive amount of knowledge we haven't yet uncovered and might never uncover. A lot of our ancestors took their secrets to the grave, leaving us to interpret what they meant by their customs, rituals, and architectural wonders all these years later. With no clearer answers in sight, some of the things you're about to see in this video are believed to have paranormal or even extraterrestrial origins, so let's check them out. Number 15. God's column found in the Roman well. In 2020, archaeologists working in Kirpin, near Cologne, uncovered a towering Roman column buried in a disused well at a lignite mine site. Standing over 16 feet high, the column was richly carved with depictions of Roman gods, Jupiter, Juno, Minerva, and the not-so-famous goddess Nemesis Diana. This combination is rare, especially the inclusion of Nemesis Diana, and experts remain unsure why she appears beside more commonly worshipped gods. Based on the well's period of use, the artifact likely dates between the 2nd and 5th centuries CE. Some researchers suspect that early Christians may have deliberately discarded the column, attempting to erase symbols of pagan worship during a time of rising religious conflict. The surrounding area, once home to Roman estates and farming outposts, may have included similar religious features. This particular find offers new clues into religious transformation in the late Roman Rhineland, where spiritual beliefs shifted, gods fell out of favor, and once sacred statues ended up abandoned, shattered, or buried, intentionally erased by a changing world. Number 14. The empty honeycomb tombs of Bohol. The honeycomb tombs of Bohol present a strange contradiction. They're elaborate yet totally unused. Unlike typical ancient burial sites where looting is the reason for emptiness, these tombs were never occupied. Locals refer to them as ermita, which means chapel in a desolate place. And I mean, they're 100% right. Their construction is linked to Father Enrique de Santo de Villanueva, a Spanish priest active during the early 1800s. Official documents suggest he ordered their creation, though no burials ever took place inside them. Bodies from that time are buried elsewhere, stacked in mass graves at the old cemetery. The tombs themselves remain pristine, untouched by either time or decay. The nearby church tied to their construction was mysteriously shut down in 1844, and the priest who initiated it vanished from all historical records. Historians like you and me remain baffled. Why build such a structure and never use it? Whether it was an unfinished religious project, a political casualty, or something else entirely, the honeycomb tombs remain silent witnesses to a plan that was never fulfilled, hopefully. Number 13. The vanished Dorset people of the Arctic. Before the Inuit settled in Greenland and Arctic Canada, the land was home to an older and still mysterious civilization, the Dorset people. Traces of their existence stretch back 3,000 years, with some communities persisting until the 14th century. Where they came from and why they vanished is still unknown. They may have been the earliest to construct igloos, but later proof suggests they eventually moved into structures made of stone. Most of what we know comes from their art, finely carved ivory figurines, and eerie wooden masks. In Inuit oral tradition, the Dorsets were seen as giants, solitary, powerful, and able to wrestle walruses with their bare hands, yet these stories also portray them as peaceful and withdrawn. Very few weapons have been uncovered from their settlements, but their skill and craftsmanship is undeniable. Some researchers believe their gentle nature may have contributed to their downfall, possibly wiped out or absorbed by the more aggressive Thule people who moved into the region centuries later. Number 12. The ancient Etruscan underground pyramids. When digging beneath a wine cellar in the Italian town of Orvieto in 2011, archaeologists weren't expecting to uncover an ancient pyramid. Yet that's what they found. They found an entire underground structure carved in a precise geometric form, unlike anything else from the Etruscan civilization. While the Etruscans were known for tombs, temples, and wells, this site doesn't match any of those categories. Experts have ruled out theories that it might be a cistern or quarry. Instead, it appears deliberately shaped like a stepped pyramid, with narrow passages and carved walls leading deeper underground. The Etruscans, who thrived in central Italy before being absorbed into the Roman Empire, left behind limited written records, making it difficult to determine the structure's function. The entrance was sealed around 2,500 years ago, suggesting it was either sacred or meant to be hidden. No artifacts or clear inscriptions have yet explained its purpose. Until further excavation is possible, this pyramid remains a mystery. Number 11. Blue monkeys of Minoan art. The Bronze Age frescoes of ancient Greece reveal an odd artistic choice: monkeys frequently painted and sculpted in scenes where they don't seem to belong. What's even stranger, many of them are colored a vivid blue. This wouldn't raise questions if monkeys lived in Bronze Age Greece, but they didn't. The Minoans, a seafaring culture based on the islands of Crete and Thera, had no native primates. And yet their murals, pottery, and pendants show monkeys in remarkable detail, especially vervet monkeys, which are native to sub-Saharan Africa. This level of accuracy has led scholars to believe the Minoans may have traveled far beyond what we once assumed, possibly even as far as Africa. How they learned about these creatures, or why they chose to paint them blue, is still up for debate. Some believe the color has a symbolic or spiritual meaning. Others suggest artistic license. Either way, these monkeys appear again and again. Number 10. The Sitovo Cave Inscription. The so-called Sitovo Cave inscription has been the subject of scholarly debate since its discovery in 1928. The markings appear as two organized rows of symbols, each approximately 16 inches tall, etched into a smooth rectangular area of the cave wall. Some archaeologists argue that the symbols are an ancient script dating back over 3,000 years. They claim the layout is too deliberate to be natural, and even suggest similarities to ancient Germanic runes. The cave wall does look as though it was polished intentionally, further supporting their view, but not all experts agree. Skeptics insist the markings are random rock fractures or natural mineral formations, and dismiss claims of linguistic structure. The man who discovered the site, Alexander Peave, believed wholeheartedly that the markings were carved by human hands. Nearly a century later, there's still no consensus. The cave continues to divide opinion, either a rare example of prehistoric writing or simply a compelling illusion created by stone and time. Number 9. Nevada Seps Extraterrestrial Petroglyphs. Situated in Hiko, Nevada, the Mount Irish petroglyph site has long intrigued those interested in the unexplained. The location, not far from the well-known extraterrestrial highway, contains carvings unlike anything else in the region. Among them are depictions of what's known as the Piranha Man and a figure resembling a traditional flying saucer circular base domed top. No similar humanoid carvings exist nearby, raising questions about their origin. Some see clear extraterrestrial themes in the imagery, while others believe people are simply seeing what they want to see. Interpretations vary widely. The petroglyph site's proximity to Area 51 adds to its mystique, though it could be a coincidence. It's also possible that the designs are modern fabrications created to draw attention or stir conspiracy theories. But without concrete evidence, their meaning remains unclear. Still, many remain convinced these figures are ancient representations of alien beings. Whether fact or fantasy, I have never seen such an unearthly painting. Number 8. The Mai Son Temple Ruins, Vietnam. Ancient temples aren't hard to find in Vietnam, but the Mai Son complex in Quang Nam stands apart, and for all mystical reasons. While most historical shrines in the region reflect Buddhist influence from the 2nd century CE onward, this site tells a different story. It was built by the Cham people, who honored the Hindu god Shiva, not Buddha. To them, Shiva was both protector and destroyer, guardian of their lands and the cycle of life. The name Mai Son, meaning beautiful mountain, refers to the landscape, not the temple itself. The original structure, built in the 4th century, was made of wood and burned down about a century later. What remains today was ordered by King Sambhuvarman in the 7th century. The true puzzle lies in its construction: thousands of handmade bricks fitted perfectly together without mortar or binding material of any kind. The engineering knowledge required is still not fully understood. Somehow, the Cham built a temple that has endured centuries, yet left no clues about how they did it. Number 7. Romania sits land of giants. Ask archaeologists about giants and they'll tell you there's no credible evidence. Still, some ancient structures beg to differ. Romania is home to vast cave settlements and temple ruins carved straight into solid rock, spanning nearly 2 square miles. The area, known locally as Sura Uria Shiler, land of the giants, is filled with legends passed down for centuries. The caves are believed to date back to the Iron Age and were repurposed by early Christian communities who used them as temples well into the 1800s. But their original creators? Unknown. The scale and complexity make it hard to believe they were made without advanced tools or large hands. Not far away lie the pyramids of Shona in Brasov County. Scholars claim they're burial mounds of Celtic chieftains. Locals say otherwise. They believe the pyramids were raised by giants. Each mound stands nearly 100 feet tall, and no clear explanation has ever emerged as to why such massive earthworks were constructed or by whom. Number 6. The fallen obelisk of Axum. Back in the 4th century BCE, the kingdom of Axum, located in what's now Ethiopia, was one of the most powerful civilizations in the world. It thrived for centuries, becoming a key trade hub between Rome and Persia. Like many great powers, Axum celebrated its rulers with towering monuments. One of the largest, a granite obelisk standing 80 feet tall, was raised to honor a king. It remained upright until the 1500s, when an earthquake brought it down. By then, the kingdom had adopted Christianity, and interest in restoring the monument faded. It wasn't until the Italian occupation of Ethiopia in the 1930s that the obelisk was rediscovered, dismantled, and taken to Rome. After World War II, the UN demanded it be returned. That didn't happen until 2007. The obelisk is once again standing in Axum, but its true origins are still a mystery. Like Peru's Naupa Huaca, it features decorative false doors carved into the stone. No one has figured out why. Number 5. Ancient game pieces found in Israel. The Meresha Bet Gavrin National Park in Israel's Judean Shephelah is a site already rich in archaeological value. But in August 2022, it became even more notable when researchers unearthed a collection of game pieces crafted from goat and sheep bones. Experts have identified them as components of a long-lost game known as astragaloi, or astragalomancy, played by both Greeks and Romans in antiquity. Some historians argue the Romans may have adopted it from the Etruscans, though definitive proof is lacking. These specific pieces are over 2,300 years old. A few bear short inscriptions and depictions of Greek deities such as Aphrodite, Hermes, and Eros. Words like "stop, you are burnt," and "robber" appear on the bones, suggesting gameplay phases or symbolic outcomes. While astragaloi is believed to have been used for divination, its exact rules remain unknown. These carved oracle bones provide a glimpse into ancient entertainment and spirituality, where rolling dice could reveal your future or fate. Number 4. Egypt's lost Benben stone. Ancient Egyptian records describe a legendary object known as the Benben stone, a sacred symbol with ties to creation itself. It was once housed in the Temple of Ra at Heliopolis and was said to be the first place touched by the sun each morning. Though the original stone has been lost for centuries, its influence lingers in Egypt's obelisks and pyramid capstones. The stone symbolized the phoenix, the mythical bird associated with rebirth, and some believe the Benben represented its seed. The name Ben itself is thought to mean fertilization in the ancient language of Heliopolis. Some versions of the myth say the Benben was the mound that emerged from the chaotic waters of Nun, upon which the god Atum began creation. That would make it not just symbolic, but the literal center of the universe, at least in myth. Though the real stone is gone, its echo lives on through every pointed peak in Egypt's ancient skyline. Number 3. Hidden cities beneath Angkor Wat. Angkor Wat in Cambodia is already one of the largest and most sacred religious sites on Earth, but in 2016, a groundbreaking discovery revealed something even more astonishing: a massive network of ancient cities hidden around it. Scientists using aerial LiDAR scans detected huge dome-shaped mounds arranged in spiral formations, almost entirely concealed by dense jungle. When plotted on a grid, the layout begins to resemble a complex street system spanning nearly 800 square miles. Historians believe that while Angkor Wat and similar Khmer temples were built with durable stone, the surrounding settlements were constructed using wood and thatch, which decayed over centuries. These newly uncovered cities suggest that Angkor was once part of a vast and highly organized urban landscape. What's less understood is why the mounds were laid out in such geometrically precise spirals. Despite advances in archaeological technology, researchers still can't explain the purpose behind these patterns or how they were constructed with such consistent alignment on such a massive scale. Number 2. The enigma of Naupa Huaca. Tucked into the highlands of Peru, Naupa Huaca remains one of the Andes' least understood sacred sites. Its name translates to Temple of the Ancients, and from the moment you reach it, that reverence feels earned. The centerpiece is a megalithic throne carved from a single block of blue stone, immaculately symmetrical. The site's three-tiered layout mirrors the Andean cross, a sacred symbol in Inca cosmology representing the sky, the land, and the underworld. At the back lies a doorway-shaped recess carved precisely into solid andesite. It leads nowhere. With no functional purpose, some believe it may have served as a symbolic portal or a dimensional gate in ceremonial rites. Even stranger, the angle of the carved cave ceiling aligns perfectly with the slope of Egypt's Great Pyramid. Such geometrical precision seems improbable with the known tools of the time. With no written records and no artifacts explaining its use, Naupa Huaca stands as one of South America's most visually precise and symbolically filled mysteries. Number 1. The Mummified Dwarf Woman of Bahariya. In 2017, archaeologists in Egypt's Bahariya oasis found an artifact that defied expectations, a sculpted sarcophagus containing the mummified remains of a woman no taller than 3 feet. The sarcophagus itself was carved in a style reminiscent of Roman portraiture, with carefully molded features and lifelike proportions, though the figure's size suggests dwarfism. Radiocarbon dating places the burial at roughly 2,000 years ago, during the Roman occupation of Egypt. The tomb, richly crafted and clearly expensive, points to a person of significant social standing, yet her identity remains unknown. Was she a noblewoman? A performer? Perhaps even considered divine? In ancient Egypt, some dwarfs held powerful roles and were associated with protective deities. The plaster casing, both detailed and intact, has puzzled experts because no similar tombs have been found in the region. It's a rare blend of Egyptian and Roman funerary art, an individual buried with care, influence, and mystery. What she represented and why she was so meticulously honored remains unsolved. If you've enjoyed this video, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you soon.